I'm Sophie McGinn and welcome to round 3 of the National Mini Bike Road Race Championships here at Teeside.
Welcome race fans to highlights of the National Mini Bike Road Race Championships, featuring action from mini moto and pit bikes. All age groups are catered for in this fast-paced fun championship, from budding future road race world champions to the clubman rider who just rides for fun. All the races delivering non-stop action and entertainment. So sit back race fans as we bring you all of the action from round 3 at Teeside Autodrome.
Yeah, the track's really good. It's different to any of the other tracks we've been to. All the other tracks are a bit tighter, a bit just shorter tracks, whereas this one, with the gearing we're running, is massively longer. The track, when I first went out, I felt completely lost because it's so fast and flowing and really wide. But once you get used to it, it's really good. I think it's probably the best track we go to all year. It's definitely the most fun.
In Junior Gearbox Race 1, the next race we're going to be looking at, it was number 19, James Alderson, taking the win in Metrokit GP70s. In the GP50 class, it was Brandon Payne, number 23. In Junior Gearbox, it was number 9, Charlie Atkins. Well, welcome race fans, you're joining me and Alan Lord. The first race we're going to look at highlights of is the Junior Gearbox. And away to go, green flag. It's going to be 119. Charlie Herons getting the jump off the start there. Number 19, James Alderson, right there in second place. Huge circuit here at Teeside. Now, Alan, just tell us about this circuit here at Teeside. It's the first time we've seen it in action.
Yeah, it's a classic track. I mean, it's the biggest one we're going to go to this year. They've finally allowed us to use the full circuit for the pit bikes and gearbox bikes. Very rare for us to be able to run this sort of length, so we've geared the bikes a little bit longer, and the riders love it. It's brilliant track, very fast. And
they are. They're certainly getting a bit of elevation change up over the far side of the circuit as well.
Yeah, I mean, when your cameras are coming into the flip-flops over the hill, that's a great feature of the track. And very rarely on most kart tracks they're built onto like aerodromes and whatever, which are flat. Obviously this isn't. This is purpose-built. Well,
as we're talking there, number 19, James Alderson taking the lead there. Charlie Herons in second position. Waiting to see who we got there in third. I'm looking for Brendan Payne and also Charlie Atkins. I'm hazarding the guess it's Charlie Atkins we got there in third position. But it is James Alderson looking very comfortable as he comes through the race control area. So Alderson from Charlie Herons. It is Atkins, I believe, there in third position. 23, Brandon Payne in fourth position. And now we'll head over to the far side of the circuit, as we were just talking about, and you'll see that elevation change as they come through our camera positions. There's Alderson, there's Charlie Herons, and number 9 just going through Atkins, then Brandon Payne in fourth position. And they start that climb up over the far side, and then there's a long drag straight back down into the main part of the circuit. Now, these junior gearbox machines that we're looking at, some of them look traditional road racing, and we've got the pit bike. I mean, how eligible, what are the machines to be in this class, Alan?
Well, you've got really 3 in here. You've got the two-strokes, the little mini bikes, or if you like, look like the mini GP bikes. They come in 3 categories, really. You've got the GP70, which is a 70cc two-stroke. You've got the GP50, which is a 50cc two-stroke. And then you've got the 4-stroke gearbox bikes. Now, they also come in the pit bike style, which you can see there in Charlie Herons just behind Charlie Atkins. Charlie Atkins is on the 140cc, the same exactly the same engine, but he's on the mini GP bike, and Charlie's on the pit bike version.
And as I say, well, thanks for that, Alan. We're just saying, as we're talking there, number 9, Charlie Atkins on the move now up into second place, trying to close that gap down on James Alderson, sorry. So James Alderson, your race leader, number 19 coming through. Charlie Atkins in second position. Charlie Herons there in third position on the pit bike. And then look at that lead now that James Alderson has pulled out there. There's our second place rider. Charlie Atkins just briefly coming into view there. Alderson starting that climb over the far side of the circuit. There's Atkins coming through in second position. And again, a big gap then before our third place rider. Charlie Herons didn't even come into view there as we now pick up with James Alderson back into the main arena. a very fast part of the circuit here as well, Alan. So the guys, compared to some of the other circuits we've seen so far in the championship, really getting up some speed at this one.
Yeah, I mean, those long straights are really stretching the engines. They're screaming along there. I'd imagine they're probably doing a good 10 or 15 mile an hour faster on those straights than we do on any other circuit we go to this year.
And I mean, the one thing that amazes me, the speeds these kids are getting to, but also it's the style that these kids are developing as well. So it's got to be setting them up for good future careers in future road racing.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's exactly the same riding style on these as you would on a big GP bike or a British Superbike. I mean, we have some of the BSB guys come along and ride with us, and I mean, they love it just like everybody else. It's damn good fun.
And the guy showing all the style at the moment, James Alderson, your race leader. Atkins there in second place, and that's Atkins just coming up towards our camera position in second place, looking very stylish as well. There's Alderson coming down towards our camera, number 19. And then we'll see that gap now as we wait for Atkins. Just briefly before the edit there, you just see Atkins just coming round the corner, and the similar gap between himself and Charlie Heron's there as well. So as they come through, there's Atkins going through in second position, but Alderson back down into the main arena. Comes towards the closing stages now. Our leading rider's really stretched out. So unless any incidents, which hopefully we don't see, I can't see the race order changing. So Alderson. And already you can see they're developing the style when they come around the corner, looking so far ahead. So that they are really maturing as riders and getting their technique down.
Yeah, I mean, to ride like this at the front, or at least at the front of this group, you've got to have that style. That's the only way you can get these bikes running that quickly.
And here we go now, James Alderson. Not too sure if we saw the last lap board come out. Now we are coming towards the closing stage of this one. So Willie Alderson now is about to take the checkers. Coming round, really stylish as he comes through. So James Alderson, Atkins in second position, and it is the checkers. So James Alderson takes the win, Atkins will take second, and Herons will take third. Well, before we look at race action from race 2, Minimoto Senior Air-Cooled Race 1, it was number 30, Adrian Arnold, taking the win from number 45, Jim Snow, and in third position, number 18, Mark Payne. 444, Craig Tees coming in fourth. So the next class we're going to look at is the Minimoto Senior Air-Cooled. That's the number 30 machine we first saw just pull up. Adrian Arnold, Jim Snow there as well. Now, Alan, with this, as these riders get themselves sorted out on the opening lap, air-cooled, they're really small bikes, but these are adults on these machines. Yeah,
I mean, this class goes from 14 onwards up to infinity in theory. These are the 40cc air-cooled bikes, slightly less capacity, well, production power than there is in the production class, but same sort of size guys ride them. You can see quite big guys.
And they're certainly getting around a good racing night. Now, I've got to mention they're also riding on a shortened course here at Teeside as well. At the moment, it's Adrian Arnold leading from Jim Snow in second position. Will Howarth also looking for him as well, a bit further back. As they go round, look at the battle starting to develop at the front. Nothing much between these two. So Adrian Arnold under a lot of pressure there from Jim Snow. Howarth there in third position. So Arnold sweeping round. They'll come through the finish area. Just pulling out slightly from Jim Snow as they come through that section. As I say, we'll see him sweep round on a shortened part of the circuit there. How can we decide to run the shortened for these guys?
Well, the little two-stroke engines, I mean, Teeside circuit, because of its long straights, would be a little bit too much for them. You're limited to how far you can gear them. And they would just be screaming for so long, and being, you know, little two-strokes, highly tuned two-strokes, the engines can't cope with it. So we put them on the smaller circuit for here. I mean, it's still quite a long circuit, I think 900 metres.
And they're certainly having a look at this battle now, because Jim Snow, especially through that section there, all over the rear wheel of Adrian Arnold. You can see Howarth there in third position, just going out of camera shot. But the battle goes on, and Jim Snow looks like he's going to make the move through on the inside. So 45 Jim Snow, but Arnold comes back round the outside. Absolutely epic stuff there. So Arnold holding off the challenge there from Jim Snow. You can see Howarth there in third position. Oh, and Jim Snow just going a little bit wide there. And they really are going through our camera position. A good rate of knots there. Also, I think we've got Nick Bennett, 711 out there, 4th position. Mark Payne, Scott Jewett out there. Graham Roberts, Harvey Cook, Paul Nichols. And Snow makes the move again through on the inside. So Jim Snow goes through on the inside of Adrian Arnold. Well, these two having an absolute epic dogfight at the front of the field. Howarth also starting to close that gap slightly in 3rd. So Jim Snow it is from Adrian Arnold, your race leader. And Arnold takes him back again. I'm just literally trying to catch my breath and swallow at the same time. And Adrian Arnold goes back through on the inside. So as they sweep round that big sweeper over the far side of the circuit, and look at Snow again trying to challenge. But Arnold just slamming the door. So these little bikes, I mean, 2 strokes, I mean, they must be right on the max, but they do deliver good racing for these adults.
Yeah, they're really good machines. They're highly tuned. For the size of them, they've got quite a bit of output. And you see with these big guys on them, they get a hell of a lick on.
And the difference in riding styles as well. I noticed some tucking their elbows in and others just legs out all the way. But they must be pretty difficult machines to ride.
Yeah, certainly. I don't think you and I are going to fit on them, but for different reasons.
What you tried to say? Anyway, Adrian Arnold is coming through, our race leader. Well, we're coming towards the closing stage of this one now. It looks like Jim Snow just dropping off slightly off the rear wheel of Arnold. Howarth in 3rd position as well. Doesn't look like he's going to close that gap. You can see now quite a bit of a gap now before Will Howarth even came into view. Nick Bennett in 4th position. Mark Payne in 5th. Scott Jewett there in 6th position. Graham Roberts in 7th. Harvey Cook in 8th. And Paul Nichols in 9th. As they come through, is it going to be checkers this time around for Arnold? It is. So Arnold will take the win. Jim Snow will take 2nd. Will Howarth will take 3rd. Join us after the break for more race action. Looking at the Minimoto Junior Production Race 1, it was number 19, James Alderson, taking the win from number 33, Joe Onley, and in 3rd position, number 24, Andrew Thornton, with 23, Brandon Payne, just coming in 4th position. So welcome back after the break, viewers. You now join us for the Minimoto Junior Production. And the green flag, and away we go here at Teeside, again running on a smaller shortened circuit to the bigger bikes, and it is the white machine of James Alderson that we saw taking the win in the junior gearbox earlier. Looking at there as well, Joe Onley, Casey O'Gorman out there, but it is Alderson leading the charge as they come through. Looks like 33 Joe Onley there in 2nd position. And look for the number 7 machine as well, Casey O'Gorman, one of the youngest. There he is, literally as I speak. He's got a great style, and he's got to be one of the youngest riders out there at the moment, Alan.
Yeah, he is, Paul. I accidentally, in one of the other rounds, said he was 7 years old. He's not, he's 6. He's 6 years old, and I mean, the lad's got a great future for him.
He has, because I mean, just keep an eye out for him, ladies and gentlemen. He's the number 7 machine. And he's got a fantastic style already developing, and as Alan said, just 6 years of age. But it is James Alderson that we're looking at now, just going through. Your race leader, Joe Onley, there in 2nd position. Also out there, we've got Andrew Thornton, Brandon Payne, Sol Tees out there, Franco Bourne, Tom Stevens, Casey O'Gorman that we was talking about, the number 7 machine, Jack Hart, Bethany Dodson out there, Dylan Mellor, Joshua Darter, Nathan Drury, Alex Latham, Owen Mellor, Cody Johnson and Ross Maguire. Those are all our runners out there in the field at the moment. There's our rider just going through. Make a number out on that one. Did you catch that one, Alan? I'm not too sure who that one is. Is it Alderson going through? Alderson's on the... That's Alderson coming through there now, isn't it? On the white machine. Yeah. 33 Joe Onley right behind him. Just looking, because there's tinier numbers on these ones, so we have to wait to see who we got there in 3rd position. So I think we've got Andrew Thornton there in 3rd position, Brandon Payne, number 23, in 4th, just at the shot of the bit. That'll be Brandon Payne on the black machine there at the back. Behind Brandon, we should have Sol Tees and Franco Bourne. Good little scrap actually developing there between Brandon Payne and Sol Tees. Back with our 2nd and 3rd place riders at the moment, 33 Joe Onley and Andrew Thornton. Having a good battle there as James Alderson just checking away out from the leaders. Really carrying some speed around that little, well, big sweeping turn. So Alderson, your race leader, Joe Onley going through there. Andrew Thornton in third. Thornton trying everything he can, climbing onto that rear wheel of Joe Onley. Alderson stretching that lead. You can see Brandon Payne a bit further back as well. They're all starting to get into their own little private battles here. Now, we're talking about the adults. I mean, are these the same size engines that we've seen on the adult machines?
Yeah, this is the 40cc, but the production class, which means it's water-cooled. I mean, there are a few riders out there that are riding their air-cooled machines as well, but the vast majority of these are the production bikes, which again, 40cc, water-cooled, and a slightly higher state of tune than the standard 40cc air-cooled.
Thanks, Alan. Well, we're just looking at that battle now. Second and third, still ranging Joe Onley and Andrew Thornton. Alderson really is starting to stretch that lead all the way around this circuit at the moment. But Joe Onley and Andrew Thornton, just out of our camera shot at the minute, a real battle at the moment. Nothing much between those two. Then we've got a bit of a gap then before we have 23 Brandon Payne and Sol Tees also battling away. Fourth and fifth positions. Then Franco Bourne and Tom Stevens. And in the number 7 machine, Casey O'Gorman. At the checkers, though, it is James Alderson taking the win for Joe Onley. Andrew Thornton will take third.
So tell me a little bit more about the bikes. How much would it cost to get going on one of these?
Basically, they start ready to go in our series at $799. That's with everything you need, the slicks, everything. All you need to do yourself is buy your leathers and pay your entrance fees, and that is it.
Brilliant. So it's quite a good way for people getting into racing or just playing around.
It's a lot cheaper. It's a lot cheaper than big bike racing, and to be honest, if you speak to everyone in the paddock, they're going to go, it's just as competitive and not as fast, but you can still, you know, have great fun. It's brilliant.
Well, Pit Bike 160 is up next. Let's have a look at some of the highlights from race 1. Taking the win, it was 114, Richie Turner. In second position, number 33, Martin Cockayne. And in third position, 421, Matthew Bolsover. With 21, James Concannon coming in fourth. Let's have a look at the highlights from race 2. So moving swiftly along, the man we've just been talking to, number 33, Martin Cockayne there, 114 as well, Richie Turner. So this will symbolise that we are getting underway with the Pit Bike 160s. Away they go, Martin Cockayne leading the charge, 114, Richie Turner there in second place. Also looking for 421, Matthew Bolsover there, Ben Johnson, Scott Larkin. Down towards that camera position to go, using the full circuit again now, so we'll see that elevation change over the far side. Here they come, Martin Cockayne leading the charge, Richie Turner snapping at his heels, Bolsover there in third place. But, as I say, 160s we're looking at on this class. Now these are all predominantly pit bike machines in this one.
Yeah, they are. They're all 160 pit bikes, stock 160. We run the stock 140 and a stock 160 class. And stock meaning that they are completely bog standard engines. You can't change anything on them.
And that everything as well, no even aftermarket exhaust or anything?
Well, no, the exhausts are open and so the carb, but if you haven't done anything with the engine, it tends to make that pretty much obsolete, so it keeps the cost right down.
And it is, we were talking about cost, I mean, this is an incredibly cheap way of getting into motorsport, really, with these bikes.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, the average bike is about £1,000 new, anywhere from 800 to 1200, but say about £1,000. By the time you paid your entry fees, spare set of tyres and a few bits and bobs, you're talking £2,000 for the year to go racing. It's just nothing in motorsport.
Brilliant stuff there, and the battle absolutely raging. And Martin Cockayne that we were talking to earlier really is feeling the pressure because Richie Turner breathing down his neck and Matthew Bolsover there in third place, and then a good battle starting to develop here as well. Looking for 21, James Concannon, Scott Larkin, Ben Johnson, Martin Taylor, Richard Bacon, David Andrews, Adam Smith. That's rounding out the top 10. Cockayne there really being put under pressure by the number 114 machine there of Richie Turner. The rest of the field comes screaming through up that climb there. Great action shots we're getting here this weekend. all the riders that we spoke to as well, really enjoying this circuit. Look at this, down towards us they come. Martin Cockayne and Richie Turner, both heads down as they come through a very fast section of the circuit there. Martin Cockayne having a great ride there. Matthew Bolsover trying to close that gap down on Richie Turner there. The rest of the field just going through. Number 19, I think that is battling away, couldn't quite make out the number. Having a good little scrap there. And again, because we was talking about what type of machine is Martin riding there, and how would you want somebody to go out about purchasing one of these bikes if they're watching this and they want to get involved?
Well, Martin's riding for the Monster Pro team. Monster Pro pit bikes, they heavily sponsor the championship. There's 3 or 4 riders in the championship for them. Now, obviously, they sponsor the championship, but they do provide a very, very cost-effective race-ready bike. Again, start from about £900 up to about £1,200 race-ready. In this particular race, there's Martin racing for the Monster Pro team, but there's at least another 6 or 7 Monster Pro bikes out there.
Literally as we were speaking here, Martin came down towards the camera position, just looking over his shoulder, one hand off the handlebars, and he's under a lot of pressure there from Richie Turner, so I'm not too sure if there was a problem there for a moment, but we'll wait for him to pick him up as they come back into the main arena again. And there it is, the Richie Turner makes a move, literally as we speak, sweeps round the outside, so Richie Turner now, your new race leader. As I say, I wasn't too sure if it was a problem there for Martin, but he looked right over his shoulder, sat right up on the machine. He's trying to come back again at Richie Turner, and he can't afford to relax because right behind him as well, Matthew Bolsover. James Cockayne going through, Scott Larkin, Ben Johnson. So the first 3 riders really bunching up, coming towards the closing stage of this one as well. Ooh, again, Martin just looking over his shoulder, just getting a check on there. Where Matthew Bolsover is, sorry. I'm going to call him Martin. But Richie Turner, your race leader, sweeping up over the far side of the circuit. Martin Cockayne in 2nd position at the moment. Matthew Bolsover in 3rd. That's your 1st, 2nd and 3rd just going through. 21, I think that was Cockayne just going through. But Richie Turner, that little climb there. Matthew Cockayne there in 2nd position, Matthew Bolsover in 3rd. Larkin just going through the number 8 machine, a bit further down the field. Cockayne. As they're back at the front of the field with our race leaders now, Richie Turner. Very tight section of the circuit there. Oh, Richie Turner keeping Martin Cockayne at bay. Let's go round a big sweeping turn there. And look at Martin Cockayne carrying a lot of momentum into that corner there. Looking for the inside line. Oh, very, very close. Richie Turner just slamming the door, and again Matthew Bolsover as well. Nothing much between. Oh, and Richie Turner making a mistake, a bit of a bubble, and that's allowed Matthew Bolsover through on the inside. So dramatic stuff there. Well, at the little incident there, and again coming back down towards us over the far side of the circuit. Martin Cockayne now takes the lead from Matthew Bolsover. So we're coming to the closing stage of this one. Drama all the way around. So 33, Martin Cockayne now your race leader. Matthew Bolsover in 2nd. Richie Turner after that bit of a bobble in that turn. Must be frustrated with himself after that mistake. Back marker in front of Martin Cockayne there. We are coming to the very closing stage. They're expecting to see the checkers out this time around. Looking over his shoulders. And here he comes. Through race control. And it is taking the checkers. Martin Cockayne will take the win.
So we're just going to have a quick chat with Jack. How have you found the circuit this morning?
Really good. It's good, but there's a few bumps in the track, so it's a bit wobbly.
And a bit of a wobble on going down the straight?
Yeah.
In the Minimoto Junior 4.2s race 1, it was number 22 Ross Maguire taking the win from number 20 Jack Hart, and Franco Bourne taking 3rd. So here we go, just moving on to the next race. Our riders just saw themselves on the grid. This is going to be the Junior 4.2s. Now, Alan, as I get underway, just tell us a little bit about this class, because obviously we've seen some of the smaller machines earlier. What's the difference with these?
Right, well, the ones we saw last time were the junior production, which are the water-cooled, slightly higher tuned bikes. These are the 40cc air-cooled. Great spread of talent in this. I mean, we've seen little Casey riding the production class, but you've got the others out there as well. You've got little Cody Johnson, Ross Maguire, Jack Hopper, Elliot Pinson, Franco Bourne, all budding talents for the future.
We're just watching one of these, the round riders really bunched up at the moment. It's 22 out there. That's Ross Maguire, the early leader. Casey O'Gorman there in second position. Just looking for our third place. Right, I think we've got Jack Hart there in third position, reigning Scottish champion. Oh, Casey O'Gorman is taking the lead as we're speaking. But I was just saying, Jack Hart, the reigning Scottish champion, I believe, at the moment.
To be honest, I'm not sure it's Jack Hart or Ross Maguire, but they're certainly very prominent in the Scottish Championship at the moment.
And here they're now just joining into the British Championship, really finding that this is the championship to be competing in. As Casey O'Gorman, your new race leader, 22 there in second place, Ross Maguire, Jack Hart in third position. Looking for Jake Hooper, Elliot Pinson out there, Franco Bourne, Alex Latham, Callum Wybrow out there, Oscar Pinson, Owen Mellor a little bit further back, Josh Hyatt out there, Dylan Mellor, Cody Johnson, Jimmy Lee Park. Those are all our runners out there so far at the moment. Casey O'Gorman now starting to stretch that lead at the front of the field. Not even halfway point yet, so we were talking about these riders. And you can see, I mean, one of the key things to look at is especially when they're positioning themselves for the corner and how far they're looking at the circuit already. They're really, although they're going around one particular corner, they're already setting themselves up for the next part of the circuit, which is something to look for when they're a talented rider.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, it's second nature to them now. They're starting to look way ahead into the other corner to what they need to do next, not what they're doing now. That becomes second nature. That's a great sign of things to come.
And there we are. So a great breeding ground now for probably some future world champions on the British scene coming out of the UK. Looking at that battle now, 22 really starting to be under pressure now. So Ross Maguire really being pressurised by the number 20 machine of Jack Hart. As one of our riders can't quite make the numbers out of our little rider just going around that part of the circuit. But that's that battle for second and third at the moment. 22 Ross Maguire has got Jack Hart climbing over his rear wheel at the moment. Casey O'Gorman just checking out. You can see him at the front of the field. But the battle we're watching at the moment, second and third, as we rejoin Casey O'Gorman, race leader coming through. Ooh, just had a shot that battle there. Really trying to get a little look at that, because that is really raging there, second and third. Ross Maguire has got Jack Hart climbing all over his rear wheel. Casey O'Gorman just coming through. 22, Ross Maguire still there, Jack Hart in third, Jay Cooper, Elliot Pinson coming through, Franco Bourne, Alex Latham, as we follow the number 7 machine. Casey O'Gorman just going through. Great little style as he goes through, switching it through that S-bend section there. 22 there, Ross Maguire, our second place rider. Jack Hart again closing really right onto his rear wheel there as he comes into that corner. Hard on the brakes. That seems a lot more aggressive in the corners actually, doesn't he, Jack Hart, when he comes into there, really closing onto his rear wheel. Yeah, you can almost see the predator in his eyes there, can't you? It certainly is. And look, as they sweep round, it's more on the tighter corners. You can see Jack Hart is really late on the brakes, closing down. Faultless start from Casey O'Gorman at the moment. Looking very smooth at the front. Almost starting to walk away from it slightly in this one. Powers his way through, no sign of the last lap board as they go through that time. Casey got a couple of back markers to deal with. Ross Maguire just had a shot at the moment. If we get some shots in, especially when they come through this S section, that's where Jack Hart is really hot on the brakes. Closes that gap down. Here they come. The battle for second and third. Ross Maguire in second position, Jack Hart in third, and again you can see really starting to close down the back marker in front of them as well as they come through safely through the traffic there. And Jack Hart really late on the brakes, just can't, it's down the straights really. Ross seems to get harder on the gas, whereas Jack's hard on the brakes going in.
Well, yeah, I think that's it. I think Ross is getting on the power of that a little bit earlier coming out the corners, which is getting that gap down the straight, and then Jack's doing it in reverse at the other end and getting on the brakes early.
And Casey O'Gorman, so number 7, our race leader, coming towards the closing stage of this one, expecting checkers out this time around. Well, in any incidents, can't see any change on the leaderboard. So number 7, Casey O'Gorman, goes through to take the checkers. Ross Maguire will take 2nd. Jack Hart will take 3rd. Jake Hooper will take 4th.
So we're just going to have a quick chat with Shane. Shane, tell me what's been happening since round 1.
Well, round 2, I lost my oil cooler, as you probably all saw, all the smoke, and yeah, I didn't finish that weekend at all. I had a DNF in the first one, and I didn't start in the second one. So, but hopefully, I've fixed that problem, and we're gonna do a little bit better this weekend, hopefully.
Well, before we look at the action from race 2, in race 1 in the pit bike open class, it was number 88 Shane Curran taking the win, 36 Dean Brown took 2nd, 48 Ben Lord took 3rd, and in 4th position 72 Harry Blades. So here we go then, our next class on Pit Bike Open, 36 there, Dean Brown, Shane Curran, Ben Lord, number 48. As the green flag goes up, away we go. Now, Pit Bike Open, Alan, again, I can see a traditional looking road race machine. What just tell us about some of the bikes that we're going to be looking at in this one?
Well, in all of our classes, you can run a traditional road going or looking bike, if you like, as long as it's got a pit bike engine in it. In the open class, we do open that up, as the name suggests, to 200cc 4-stroke single-cylinder engines with a single overhead cam. You can tune them if you like, you can do what you like to them, but as you can see, there's a couple of what they call Conti bikes in there with pit bike engines in them, and they're comparable. There's no difference between them really when they come down to it between the styles.
Carrying a lot of speed down through that. That's number 88, the guy that we've just been talking to there, Shane Curran, absolutely flying as they come back into the main arena. Dean Brown, in 2nd position, Ben Lord in 3rd. Looks like Harry Blades there in 4th position. So a good result there for Ben Lord there. Bit of a connection for you, Alan?
Oh, just a little bit, yeah.
But Shane Curran, number 88, coming through towards us. Dean Brown there in 2nd place. Now, Dean Brown as well, we're talking about some superbike riders coming over, but Dean's got a bit of a career going on for himself in the big bikes.
Yeah, he was in Ducati Cup last year. He's riding in the Stock 1000 in the BSB class this year. Obviously, he comes and rides with us whenever he can. He loves it. He thinks it's great fun.
He's certainly putting in a good display there. He's 2nd place at the moment. The battle raging between 3rd and 4th. That's Ben Lord and Harry Blades. Ben Lord just doing a good job of holding Harry Blades off. Down towards our camera position they go. But our race leader, Shane Curran and Dean Brown, they are starting to have an absolute epic battle at the front of the field. You can see Dean Brown talking for every line he can there. The rest of the field start that climb up over to the far side of the circuit. Then they'll come back into the main arena. Here they come, Shane Curran leading Dean Brown. Shane a lot faster through that section there. I mean, because Dean Brown, I've seen his bike, he's pretty looking at a standard machine, really. Yeah, well, there's several out there. You've got Dean Brown coming through in the shot now. Ben Lord behind him. They're both on the stock 140 bikes. They race in both classes. Obviously, you can't run an open bike in the stock class, but you can the other way round. As you can see, they're pretty comparable. There's another Lord just going through there as well, Michael Lord. Really good results, really, for these 140s. That's really got to be a testament for those 140 engines. Yeah, you tend to find that the really quick riders in a 140 class can still cut it in the open class, as you can see there. I mean, Ben and Dean there, you've got Shane out in the front on a tuned 160 bike. You've got Harry Blades in 4th on what is called a Daytona 190 tuned engine, and sandwiched between them the 2 stock 140 bikes. So excellent riding and results there for Dean Brown and Ben Lord there in 2nd and 3rd at the moment. Just going through this, Harry Blades in 4th position. I think we've got Martin Duscombe, our next rider, coming through in 5th position. Just coming into shot now. Behind him should be Rhys Garland, Nick Lord. As we were saying, Jay King out there, Gary Fee, Richard Bacon, and Chris Fabian in 11th position. But Shane Curran looking very comfortable and stylish. And as I say, he had a DNF at our previous round at Stretton, making up for it, gathering some valuable points this weekend. So Shane Curran just going through, Dean Brown just inside. In a bit of a gap then before we have Ben Lord, number 48 in 3rd, Harry Blades in 4th position, Martin Duscombe in 5th. Looks like Dean Brown's just closing. We're looking not too long left on the clock on this one, but Dean Brown, he's suddenly pulled in on Shane Curran. Very fast through this section. Here's Ben Lord just going through in the orange and blue and white leathers as he's going through in third. Still being followed by Harry Blades. But it's certainly closing up at the front of the field. No sign of that last lap board going through this time. He's very close there. Dean Brown's trying to show his way through on the inside as he made that move. We'll wait for our next camera position. Here comes Ben Lord and Harry Blades in third and fourth. But Shane Curran still there at the moment. Dean Brown trying everything he can. It looked like he was going to take that position away. Ben Lord just coming through in third. Harry Blades there in fourth. Then we've got 125 Martin Dunscombe coming through. Looks like the right behind him 27 Reece Garland. Rest of the field coming through, but you want to watch this battle at the front. It's going to be the checkers, and Shane Curran takes the win. Dean Brown will take second, Ben Lord will take third, Harry Blades will take fourth, Martin Dunscombe will take fifth. Minimoto Senior Production Race 1 results. It was 463, Richard Spears taking the win from 45, Jim Snow, Will Howarth number 96 taking third, and Brad McCorkle taking fourth. Let's have a look at the action from race 2. Well, welcome back, viewers. You're joining us for action from the round 3 of the National Minibike Road Race Championships here at Teeside. And it is going to be number 57 getting the early lead, Lewis Wilkinson. Leading the charge. The class we're looking at now is the men's senior production. Looks we have that change there. So it's 463, Richard Spears taking the lead away from 57, Lewis Wilkinson. So Spears there. Now we'll just have Will Howarth there in third. This class now, Alan, just gives a little bit of ups on the class that we're looking at now.
Well, this is the Minimoto Senior Production class. Like the Junior Production class, it's a slight upgrade from the standard air-cooled bikes. These are liquid-cooled, slightly higher state of tune, and as you can see, these guys can really get at it.
They certainly can. Already getting some great race action at the moment. Richard Spears, your race, and watch the difference in styles on these as well, especially when they're coming onto the straight. There's Jim Snow in third. Then we've got Will Howarth in fourth position. 33 just going through there. That's Brad McCorkle. But certainly not hanging around. Richard Spears, he tucks his elbows. Unbelievable how he manages to get his knees in between his elbows as he goes down the straights there. Second place, still no change there. Richard Lewis Wilkinson. So really got to be quite nimble on these bikes, because I mean they're doing a good rate of knots, and they're not the biggest of machines.
No, I think they do really well. I mean, if you look at Richard there, Richard is 6 foot. Lewis is a little bit smaller. It's worth mentioning as well, this is Lewis's first race back for some time. He's come out of retirement to do this. He's now joining the championship for the rest of the season. Yeah, it's not something that you or I are going to get on, but for different reasons. I mean, these are 6 foot lads. We're a little bit wider.
It's just loose clothing in my account. But Lewis Wilkinson certainly having a very good return to racing there, sitting in second place at the moment. Jim Snow is starting to come into the picture now as well. He's starting to close down. So Jim Snow pulling away from Will Howarth, number 96 in fourth. Oh, that battle at the front. Lewis Wilkinson really isn't giving Richard Spears much breathing space at all. Very hard on the brakes as he came down into that corner, right onto his rear wheel. But you can see Jim Snow there in third position as well. He's starting to get a move on. He's starting to close down on our leading duo. Richard Spears, your race leader. Wilkinson again there in second place. Look at him closing right onto the rear wheel. Jim Snow in third, Howarth in fourth, Stuart Carter now moving up into fifth position, Nichols in sixth, Brad McCorkle in seventh position. I think that's our running order at the moment. Here they come down towards race control. Richard Spears, your race leader. Oh, Wilkinson trying everything he can to find a way through. Richard Spears just doing a fantastic job guarding those lines. Because again, like I was talking, some of the kids, some are quick, are hard on the throttle and get the drive down on the straights, but Wilkinson very hard on the brakes in the corners, closing right up onto his rear wheel.
Yeah, he seems to do it all on the brakes. I mean, he's not the smallest of lads as well, so yeah, you'd think it take a bit more braking, but he just seems to be able to close right up on Richard on the brakes in the tight corners.
Sweeping round, this big sweeping animal coming to some very tight turners. This is where Wilkinson could be within a chance. Spears has got a back marker in front of him as well. So it's Richard Spears, Wilkinson. There's Jim Snow in the white and black leathers just going through in third position. There's his knees tucked right in there as he comes through. Last lap, what is going to be the checkers. Spears will take the win. Wilkinson will take second. Jim Snow just crossing the line there in third.
So we're down here on the grid. We're just going to have a quick chat with some of our 140 riders. How have you been getting on this morning?
Yeah, good. Enjoying it. The sun's out and we're riding our bikes. You can't beat that, can you?
You made any changes since the last round?
Nah, nothing. Meant to be racing big bikes this weekend, but the bike ain't done, so we pulled the little one out of the garage and just have a ride around.
Good luck. Moving swiftly on, we'll have a chat with the rest of the guys. How have you been getting on this morning, Jay?
Yeah, today's been going really well. It's a track that suits me a lot with my body weight, so it's been going really well, yeah.
Do you know how you qualified yet?
Not yet for this race. It was just a mock grid so far, but in the open class I got a 6th, which I'm well happy with.
Brilliant. Well, good luck to Jay. We'll catch up with him next time. Moving on. How have you been getting on this morning?
Yeah, it's been good. Yeah, I'm enjoying the track first time here, so making improvements all the time. Really enjoying it.
Good stuff. How have you found the circuit this morning?
It's been good. I think it's better than yesterday. It's getting the sun on it now, so it's warming up, getting better and better. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, good luck for the rest of the day. We'll catch up again with you later. Let's have a word with Toby. So how have you been getting on this morning?
Yeah, not too bad. A couple of bits fell off the bike, but nothing other than normal, really.
Got it all fixed now?
Nah, just on track somewhere.
You left them out there?
Yeah, that's right. Don't need them. Saves weight, doesn't it?
So moving on now, we're going to look at pit bike 140s. Green flag is away. Oh, we've got an incident on the line. A couple of riders just having a bit of... Oh, another rider going down quite hard there. Landing on his shoulder there. 4 or 5 bikes down there. Down they go, down towards over the far side of the circuit. Sweeping round. It's going to be number 36, Dean Brown. Oh, and another rider going down. Oh, very safely back up on his feet there, so a fair bit of drama there, Alan.
Yeah, you can say that. Oh, here comes the red flag. That must be for the earlier incident. Yeah, it is.
Fortunately, nothing too serious, but obviously safety precautions, a red flag, and we'll be getting underway with a restart of this race. Pit bike 140, this is race 2 on the card. Big grid here. Now probably the most hotly contested championship in the UK now, Helen.
Yes, certainly. We've certainly got the biggest grids in the UK on mini bikes.
Away they go, green flag. All safely away this time. Bunching up into that first turn, and they'll sweep down over the far side of the circuit, getting that great elevation change. Great action shot as they come down towards us. 36 Dean Brown it is. Michael Med there in second place. Ben Lord there. Another good result there for you, Alan.
Yeah, we've got Ben and Mark there for Monster Pro, and they're a little bit further back. Finding, in fact, there's definitely no team order because Ben's just taking the position away from Mark.
So Martin Cocaine there just tossing away. Starting that elevation climb up there, then I'll come back down into the main arena. 36 Dean Brown still leading the charge from number 7 Michael Med. Great speed and action shots they're getting there. It's hard to believe you can just buy one of these bikes for probably as little as £1,000. I mean, they are really going at phenomenal speeds down to there.
Yeah, I mean, this, as we said earlier, this track is longer than any other circuit we go to in the UK, and we have got to gear them longer, so on those straights they are kind of fair old lick. I think they're bordering on 80 mile an hour down those straights.
Incredible race action, and very impressive that they come around there. And Dean Brown, of course, on the I forget what class you said he was now on the big bikes. Well,
he raced in the Open. Oh, you mean Dean's full-time job? Yeah, he races in the BSP in Stock 1000.
So there he is, Dean Brown just leading the charge. Michael Med there in second place. Martin Cocaine now up into third, having a tussle there with Ben Lord. Also looking for Connor Bolsover, Matt Bolsover there as well in the mix. Ben Bailey, Reece Garland, Kieran Woodhouse, Nick Lord, Scott Larkin, number 8, James Blackburn. The battle coming towards us again. 36 Dean Brown, Michael Med, 33 Martin Cocaine, Ben Lord in 4th, Bolsover in 5th position. The rest of the pack stream up towards us. We're going to rejoin our leaders down in the main arena. Here they come. 36 Dean Brown, your race leader. As I say, brilliant action shots we're getting here. Michael Med still there in second place. Martin Cocaine in 3rd. Ben Lord in 4th. Nothing much between these riders. Ben Lord really climbing over the rear wheel of Martin Cockayne, so Martin Cockayne cannot relax at all. Dean Brown, your race leader, well, he's in control at the front of the field, just pulling away slightly from Michael Med. Look at Cockayne now, he's closing back up to second place, and Ben Lord again trying to find a way through on the inside of Martin Cockayne. Well, Dean Brown, if he takes a look over his shoulder, you'll see a freight train coming towards him. Michael Med, Martin Cockayne and Ben Lord, here they come through race control. Dean Brown, Michael Med in second place, Ben Lord in third, Martin Cockayne in fourth. So Ben Lord now up on the move now, moving up the leaderboard. The rest of the field coming through towards us, Bolsover going through. Dean Brown back up over on that climb, Michael Med in second, Martin Cockayne in fourth position now. So Ben Lord now in third, Bolsover just going through as well. Now these 140s Group 8, it's such a well contested. I mean, these 140s will be stock machines in this one.
Absolutely 100% stock. Most are running the YX140 engines. There are a couple of others in there, but they're all standard engines. We allow you to run an open carb and an open exhaust, but the reality is if it's a stock engine, you gain very little advantage by having a big carb or a fancy exhaust, so it keeps the cost right down.
Also, the racing really tight and competitive as well. I mean, we're looking even further down the field. They're all on top of each other.
Well, yeah, that's the beauty of a stock class. I mean, you know, the guy next to you has got no real advantage over you. It's going to come down to how you set the machine up, you know, suspension-wise, you know, tyre pressures, that sort of thing, but mainly on how well you ride.
And here they come, going through Dean Brown, Michael Med there, so in second place. Ben Lord in third, ahead of Cockayne. Those two having a real good scrap there. Bolsover, your next rider through. With not too sure, Ben Bailey, I think it is behind him at the moment. Dean Brown coming through. Michael Med is very close onto the rear wheel of Dean Brown this time. In that battle as well, third and fourth. Ben Lord is starting to close down on Michael Med as well, so it's really starting to bunch up at the front of the field. Bolsover just going through. The rest of the field streaming through towards us, coming towards the closing stages of this one as well. This is going to be a nail-biter towards the finish of this one. Here they come, Dean Brown, and it looks like we've had a change over the far side of the circuit, because Ben Lord now comes through in second place. So literally as they went out of our camera shot, here they come, Dean Brown, your race leader. Ben Lord in third, Cockayne in third. So Michael Med must have had a problem as they went out of our shot, because he's dropped back considerably down into sixth position by our reckoning. So here comes Dean Brown, your race leader, should be coming towards the finishing stage of this one as well. Ben Lord in second position, Martin Cockayne in third. Head down as he comes charging through race control, number 36. Dean Brown takes the win. Ben Lord will take second. Martin Cockayne will take third. Conor Bolsover will take fourth.
Hope you've enjoyed all the action from round 3 of the National Mini Bike Road Race Championships here at Teeside. This has been an RPM Action Sports presentation.